Inside of conversations and settings, you're going to see what's called SLA settings. And this is defining how quickly your team should respond to, guess what? Conversations, customer messages. Conversations SLAs stands for service level agreements. It helps your team maintain consistent response time and ensures no customer message is missed. I'm going to show you how to set up SLAs, understanding SLA timers and sorting by SLA, and hopefully help you get started utilizing this amazing tool. Now, Conversation SLA, service level agreement, is a response time goal that counts down on each incoming thread inside of your conversations inbox. So timers start when a new customer message arrives, and then they turn gray, on track, orange, due soon, or red, overdue, as the deadline approaches. This gives you a visual cue to reply before the SLA is breached. Now, another common term for this is called timestamps. This is now built into our software. A couple of key benefits: faster replies. You want your team to always know how much time is left to answer. Smarter prioritization. Color-coded timers surface the most urgent threads first. And then you've got channel flexibility. You can create one universal SLA or unique targets for emails, SMS, Facebook, WhatsApp, TikTok, and more. Accountability and reporting. Managers can filter, sort, and report on longest SLA overdue and next SLA target to spot coaching or sales opportunities. One of the big things in your business that is the most important thing is when it comes to follow up, how quick you follow up, how long your response time is. Faster you are at responding, the more chance you have of winning that business. Think about the last time you called a business. Were you happy when they called you back? Were you happy when they called you back fast? Were you happy when they called you back in a timely manner that fit your specific need? Well, this is what conversation SLAs help do. Now, the first thing that you want to do is go and turn on your SLA. You can select this dial by selecting the dial, or you can select the button that says Set SLA. When you're thinking of how or what you want to set up, I would probably set up a common SLA. And then as you understand response times, then do channel-specific SLAs. So a common SLA applies the same SLA rule to all channels. So right now we're going to set up a basic rule for each channel. All conversations, regardless of whether they are an email, an SMS, a Facebook, whatever it's coming in as, they must be replied within an hour. That's a good example. A channel-specific SLA would determine different response target times for each channel. A great example would be SMS replies must be sent within 15 minutes, while email replies can take up to 2 hours. The SLA timings right here would be when is it due and when is it overdue. So how quickly your team should reply to these messages. We're setting a common SLA, and we're going to do this within 3 minutes, and it will be overdue in 5 minutes. Within 5 minutes, we've probably lost them. Now, if we were going to do channel specific, I'm going to go ahead and click this so you can see what it looks like. When you click on channel specific, this is where you can set your call, your SMS, your email, all the way down to all of your messages. This could be your WhatsApp, your live chat, your web chat, Facebook Messenger, Instagram Messenger, and TikTok. And if your list looks different, we might have added more conversations, so be sure to check all the targets that we've added. Remember, the channel is the reply to channel. The SLA would be when is it due? And the SLA overdue is how long is it overdue. My favorite one is adding in a messenger as well. You want to respond within 24 hours when it comes to Facebook or social media. But you could set this to 10 minutes, or you could set it to respond within an hour. So you can set these for specific channels however you'd like. I'm going to go ahead and go back and select the common SLA. That way we're following the common SLA to apply this to all of our channels. For defining SLA targets, the best way to think about it is this: the warning time before the SLA breach. When a conversation alerts this window, the timer turns orange. When it's overdue, the maximum time allowed to respond before the SLA is considered missed. Once it's breached, the timer will then turn red. Now, you want to choose how workflow and AI messages are going to affect your SLAs as well. In this section, you can decide whether messages sent automatically through workflows should count as valid replies for your SLA timers. This gives you flexibility to decide if automated responses should stop the countdown, or if only human replies should be considered. You can select how you'd like the workflow or automation messages to affect your SLA. Countdown messages as a valid response. The SLA timer stops whenever a workflow sends a message. Don't count automation messages as valid responses. The timer continues to run until a team member replies. If you select count messages only from the selected workflow as a valid response, you'll want to choose certain workflows that can stop the timer while others don't. So you would just select count messages only from the selected workflow and then select the specific workflow. You can select more than one by just selecting 2, 3, 4. You'll see I've got 4 selected. Or you can just select each one by unchecking and just select one. I'll select none of the automation messages for the sake of this timestamp. How should conversation AI agents messages affect SLA? You want to decide how replies from your AI agent should impact SLAs. Remember, if you've set up an AI agent under the AI agent tab, that's how we set this up. Count an AI reply as a valid response. The SLA timer will stop when the AI agent responds. That's what it's set to as default. Don't count AI replies as response. The timer continues until a human replies. Once you're done making your SLA selection, then you're going to want to select Save. Are you sure you want to modify the SLA? The updated SLA settings will only apply to new incoming messages. Existing conversations will continue to follow the SLA rules that were active when they began. Do you want to save and apply these SLA rules? Yes. Let's go ahead and save the changes. It's going to save, and now we're all set. If at any time you want to come in after you've played with this for a little bit longer, all you'll do is just go back into settings and then select your specific channel. And we can turn on specific channels and go and set all of your SLAs due soon and SLAs overdue. You can select that by minutes or hours. And then just reconfigure and select Save. We've got this set. I'm going to send an email here from an external device, and I'm going to just put a title that says checking in, just checking in to see my SLA. All right, I'm going to go ahead and send that. I'm going to go into my conversations. We're going to go ahead and refresh. Let's do testing SLA, and I'm just going to do testing SLA. We're going to go ahead and send. I'm going to go ahead and reply to a message. Yes, this is great SLA. Let's go ahead and send through a message. Remember, all of your past messages are not going to show up correctly, but all of your new messages will. So you may need to refresh this so you can see any new conversations. If for any reason they don't pop right back up. Now I just sent a new message, and here it is. I have 5 minutes left to reply to this email. There's the timer, and we're going to let it run. You'll see my SLA shows up right here where it says 5 minutes, 4 minutes, 29, 28, 27 seconds. This is a great tool when it comes to following up, getting that response time in. And there it is. We're going to let this run through so you can see the different colors. Understanding the timer is really important. There's a gray timer right here, and this means the SLA is on track and it's within that allotted time. Remember, we scheduled that in the settings for each conversation channel or all channels. This is an email, and we did all channels. When it starts to turn orange, the SLA is approaching its response deadline. This is the color you're going to see right here. When it turns red, the SLA time has been exceeded. So let's keep an eye on this. To make it easy for you to manage those workloads, conversations, and SLA-based filters and sorting options, you can filter by SLA status, where you can view only active, due soon, or overdue. You can also sort by SLAs, organize conversations by longest overdue or next SLA target. All you need to do is click on the filter button right here. The filter type is going to be by the SLA, and you can filter it by response time. Is overdue, is active, or is due soon. You can see right here, it started to turn orange. So we're getting really close to reaching that deadline. As a manager, you can easily come in here and check all the conversations from your team by filtering the SLA, doing response time as overdue, and you can apply that filter to show all of the overdue. Now you're going to see right here, it's counting down. I'm going to let this go ahead and go overdue. We have 3 seconds left. So I'm going to go ahead and do a filter. I'm going to filter the SLA. I'm going to filter this by overdue, and I'm going to apply that filter. And here's my filter. As soon as we reach that conversation overdue, it's going to show here as an overdue filter. Just select overdue. Now, we're working on some key benefits here to setting up filters. So you want to stay tuned for this, and that is by selecting the filter option here and selecting the sort the filter by SLA. We showed you earlier you can do assigned, follower, mention, last direction, last outbound, inbound, last message channel, tag, or SLA. I'm going to select SLA, and we want to do it based on the response time currently, but I'm really excited to see updates here as this feature evolves. I'm going to go ahead and select overdue and I'm going to apply it. Now I have an applied filter that shows all of my overdue and it shows how many minutes it's overdue. This is amazing. It's a great way for you as a manager or a sales manager to manage and to basically coach your sales team on how they should be responding in a timely manner. If this is you and you're managing your direct conversations, doing a due soon may help you sort those as well. Remember, you can always clear out your filter by selecting clear right here, selecting apply, and we'll get right back to the conversation. A couple of quick questions that people usually will have. Will SLAs apply to my existing conversation after I enable them? No, they won't. SLAs will only apply to new incoming messages created after the feature is enabled. Existing conversations will continue without SLA tracking. What happens if you disable the SLA? Well, existing conversations will continue to follow the current SLA timer, so you'll see these timers until they run out. But new messages will no longer have SLAs applied. You can re-enable SLAs anytime from the single settings tab, just by selecting settings and turning the dial on or off. Do automated or AI replies stop the SLA timer? Only if it's configured to do so. By default, workflow messages do not stop the timer and AI messages stop the timer. You can adjust these options under how should conversations AI messages affect the SLA. And the common question is, can I have SLAs for each channel? Absolutely. Just remember to select channel specific SLAs. SLAs do not apply to internal chats or comments. Stay tuned. We're hoping to get reports and workflow triggers using SLA-based triggers and performance reporting. So now would be a great time to go and select your SLA and start managing those conversations to make sure that you or your team respond in a timely manner.